What up, big lads here again. I I just finished this and one of my roommates had walked in and was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "I'm talking to the kids about the future." And he said, "Future and the Illuminati." And he was like, "Well, tell them the whole aspect of the Illuminati." All right, the Illuminati started just like in England, in Britain, in England, during the turn of the century, and after Rome fell and the British Empire was on the rise. But let's not go back that far because we don't have that much time. Let's go back to the era of the Rockefellers when they had first discovered oil and the automobile industry. Well, the only thing in America and in London, in England too, that separates peasants from royalty is the amount of money that they have. In America, there's free enterprise and capitalism. You can go from a janitor Monday to Mark Zuckerberg Thursday with the success of Facebook. So they say. That's not true. That came to an end a long time ago because only the wealthiest, and I didn't say rich, because I've been around a lot of rich people. I said wealthy. Wealthy people are the ones who've had money inherited to them long, long times ago. And they don't have to worry about anything. We always said, I come from a town of 10,000 people, and we always said there's a catch-22 situation on getting out of this city. And that is, you need a car to get a job. You need a job to get a car. Now somebody has to come along and give you either or. So that's the catch-22. Somebody had to come along and give me a ride to work. I got the job, but I needed a ride to work. And one of my co-workers used to come pick me up and bring me to work. And after 6 to 8 months, I had enough money to buy my own car. Well, that's the same thing. If you're trying to start a business, in America, you need capital. Mark Zuckerberg needed capital. He comes from a wealthy family, but he didn't get the money from them. Remember his best friend in the movie gave him $18,000 to start up Facebook? And then from that $18,000, he showed his idea out in Silicon Valley in California, and somebody picked up on his idea and gave him a $150,000 advance because they thought that his idea might fly. But he would have never got the chance to create Facebook and go out to California, rent out a house, and live for 6 to 8 months developing his idea if it wasn't for the bottom line, capital, the catch-22, the car or the job or the car. Debbie, the car, Debbie. Well, you see, if you come from a rich and wealthy family, I keep saying rich, wealthy family, like the George Bushes of the world, whose money goes all the way back to George Washington. Seriously, you don't believe me? Look it up. Anyway, they've already had money to start their projects. They've already went to the most prestigious schools. They went from private school. They didn't go to public schools. They were born in from the womb. They was raised with silver spoons in their mouths. They went from there to private schools, to military academies, to straight to Yale, Harvard, and Stanford, and Oxford. See, and they went from there into political cabinets all the way to the White House. That's how it works in big business. So what the Rockefellers did was, with their newfound oil and their new businesses and ideas and inventions that ran off of oil and gas, petroleum, and etc., they needed people to manufacture them. So people then, in the early 1900s, were the robots of today. They were manual labor. Well, you don't need a BM from Harvard to know how to screw one bolt onto another one or a screwdriver onto another one. So they trained them. Their educational factors was just how to speak, which was like 200 words that we use in our vocabulary, and how to dress themselves and how to be to work on time. The only thing they needed to know how to do is punch in and out. ticket, clock it, ticket, clock it, and get online. And that's all the education that they needed. And they made them manual labor. And for generations, my father worked at General Motors for 45 years, and I came in after him. I was looking at all these specials on HBO about the Flint plants closing down, and there's 2 and 3 generations of people. Oh, same with mine. My father worked at General Motors for 40 years. You know, and my brother worked there, and they expected me to work there when I got out of school. No, man. Sorry. No, I don't think that I want to be, I had a deeper understanding of education at the time. I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. I tried. I worked at the General Motors Buick plant making Buick Centuries in Grand Rapids, Michigan for about 2 weeks. After about a day on the line, this giant electronic arm comes down with this hot thing, and I got to pull the mask on, and I got to weld this one part, and I was like, this is why I went to college. This is the reasons why I was in the Upward Bound program. This is the reason why I succeeded and was taking college course classes at the age of 15. I was Doogie Howser, for God's sakes, and you want to put me in here? I was like, what is the meaning of life? What is this? What is this world? I couldn't do it. I was about to start drinking and smoking, and then I was getting eye winks from, oh God, some of the most hideous chicks I've ever seen, with and they're not looking any better with the safety goggles and the white Jerry curl cap on, the mittens on the, I'm out, man. I'm rolling. I'm sorry, y'all. I can't do this, man. But that's what they wanted, man. 100 years of human mechanical drones, meat puppets. They want stupid people. They don't want people to succeed. And if you are a creative person and you come up with an idea, they'll take it from you. They will take it from you. In 1996, I was standing at the bus stop, and it was cold as hell in Atlanta. And I was like, I'm from Michigan, and it was cold as down here. And I had on my headphones. I can't go without my music. I'm a musician, and I can't go without my music. So I put my earmuffs on top of my headphones, the stereo headphones. Boom! I came with an idea, and I said, hey. I went home and I broke the headphones, and I took the earmuffs apart and put the stereo headphones inside the earmuffs, and then I sewed them in. I had a new invention. And then the next day I was at the bus stop, and everybody was like, oh, that's tight. What do you call those? And I was watching It's Tricky video for Run DMC. And he said, can we rock the mic like y'all? And Run said, no, not with this gear. I said, gear. Earmuffs, gear muffs. So I came up with the idea, and I called them gear muffs. And I saw this invention place on television that said, show us your invention. If you're trying to get your idea off the ground, you need to come to us. So I went to them. And I had to sign this agreement of confidentiality so would nobody take my idea. And I didn't know anything. I was like 20 years old. I didn't know what was going on, And the guy came out with an offer and said, well, the Walmart Corporation is interested in your idea, and we would like you to accept an offer of $100,000. And I said, $100,000. Okay, let me see here. I'm working at Taco Bell. I'm making like 3,000 burrito supremes a day, and somebody's offering me $100,000, and they're totally kissing my ass in the office, like giving me hot chocolate and cookies, and asking me if I wanted some water. And I was like, no, okay. I grew up around drugs and dope men, so I know what's going on here. You're trying to sweeten me up. You fatten me up. I'm waiting on the witch to come out and try to put me in the oven. So I was like, I don't need to think about it. So I went home. I went back to work. I talked to my friend Arthur, and he said, don't do it. He said, you accept $100,000, I'm going to take your invention away from you. You're going to go through that $100,000 in 6 or 7 months. You're going to be going paper or plastic, and you look up and your invention, they're going to reap millions off of it. So I said, no dice. I turned it down. 4 years went by. I went into a college program and became an underwriter, writing my own contracts, and found out a lot about trademark infringements, copyrights, and I sent it off to companies overseas, to Taiwan and Korea, to try to get them manufactured myself and sell them. And they all turned me down because they was in cahoots with Sony and other companies. Oh, so 2000 came around. I'm walking through JCPenney's at the local mall. I come across some gear muffs. My invention. Sony had my invention, but they tweaked it. Instead of putting the speakers inside the earmuffs and sewing it in, they came up with Velcro strips to put around the headphone set. And they sold the Velcro strip earmuff covers and headphones separate. Boy, I was like, they took my idea. Duh, that's what they do. The Ford company took so many people's ideas. Remember that guy, they took the idea for his windshield wiper thingy? I was like, oh, man. So I get it now. They want us to be dumb. They want us to be dumb, and they'll take anything away from us in order for us not to be dumb. You can't even sell a cookie now. I remember an old lady could sell a cookie at the local store back in the day. You can't even do that now. I tried to sell some cookies and pies and stuff. I call myself Cake Daddy. Word. Out of my house, woo! Sheriff's department, fire truck, city ordinance. This is not a business zone. You need the fire department to check your house for fire traps, and you got to pay this much money, and you got to have this. Oh, by the time I finish paying all of y'all, I won't have no money to invest in my business. So I get it now. You don't want me. You don't want me to be smart. You want me to be an idiot. Well, why don't you just put one of those stitches here on the side of my brain, and so I can go ahead and take out the part of my brain that functions and just put in there what you want, so I can just be another drone at another plant. I can't do it, man. I can't do it. So that's why I'm a musician. I can't do it. I had so many inventions, man, it would make your head spin. It was like, a few of them flopped, like the sex pot. I was trying to combine a Viagra with marijuana. That didn't work. The spray-on condom, that didn't work. Anyway, so that's a part of the Illuminati. I can go on all day. You only have 15 minutes of airtime. I'm up to 13 already. But they're trying to lower our education, and then my thing to you is go to the library and get your books. Don't get everything offline, because everything online is not ironclad. Get some books, read for yourself, filter through it, and make yourself a commodity. Learn 2 or 3 different languages so you can be available in other countries. Right now, Brazil is hiring for the Olympics. If you can speak Spanish or you can speak Portuguese, you be in the house, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Right now, Metro PCS is hiring people with bilinguals. If you can speak 2 different languages, I speak 3. If you can speak 2 or 3 different languages, you make yourself a commodity, a part of the business that they cannot do without. So screw the Illuminati. I'm gonna talk some more about this because I just monkeyed around a little bit, and I apologize for that. But Illuminati Part 3. No, 4, right? Okay, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, Illuminati Part 4. I'm gonna talk about that. Peace. And then I'm gonna go back to putting on my wife beater. Oh no, showing the taco meat. You know? Yeah.